I'm Carole Turek, and I am photographing every hummingbird species. Come with me as I explore Central and South America to find all 360 plus species. Some of them are critically endangered and difficult to find, but we will find them all. Hi, my name's Carole, and this is Hummingbird Spot. We're in Ecuador. Oh, this smells wonderful. Thank you, Mercedes. We are off today to get some real high altitude hummingbirds. I think we're going up to 12,000 feet. Good morning.
Good morning, Carole. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome. How are you doing?
Oh, it's so good to see you again.
Good to see you again. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Ready for our adventure?
Yes, we're going to Antisana.
Yes.
To get some great high altitude hummingbirds here. That's all my camera equipment.
Okay. And we have some targets there, and I hope
Okay.
we have. Weather looks great,
Good.
and I hope to enjoy. So let's roll on.
We'll go.
We are heading towards Antisanilla Reserve. Antisanilla Reserve is a property that belongs to Fundación Jucotoco, and Jucotoco is trying to buy land to protect specific birds habitats in Ecuador. And here the main activity, or the main reason to buy this property, was to protect the Andean Condor. Andean Condor is the national bird of Ecuador and is an endangered bird in our country. So I hope we can see condor, and this is the year where they roost every day.
Oh, the condor, right on top of that.
Wow, flying
Yes.
really low. Oh my God. Andean Condor.
He just perched.
Hi, getting cameras ready.
Yeah.
Hoping to find an Ecuadorian Hillstar. Yeah, if you remember the last time, I only got a picture of a baby. This is a full, real macho male. The Ecuadorian Hillstar occupies very high elevations of 11,500 feet and higher. It's a near endemic to Ecuador, and its territory barely reaches a tiny patch of southern Colombia. The male is spectacular with its deep purple hood. It has a white chest and abdomen with a black stripe down the middle. And it feeds on the bright orange flowers of the chuquiraga bushes that grow high up in the paramo.
We are using the Swarovski scope and the home scope technology to be able to get these images for you.
I was so happy to finally see an adult male Ecuadorian Hillstar. William Oriana, who is now also the drone operator, took some great footage, and then we went to have lunch.
going to have lunch at Antisanilla, Casa Antisanilla. This belongs again to Cotoco Foundation, who's trying to promote ecotourism. As I told you, for local people, corn, chocolate is very important, green beans, habas, and cheese. Since many years ago, this is a very local food. That's why we are going to promote, and we are going to enjoy this amazing food with one important ingredient, ají, hot sauce made with 3 tomatoes, onions, and they blend a little bit, they put oil, and it's a wonderful additional twist to our lunch.
After lunch, we hiked down to Sendero Colibri, a cabin with a porch where we could enjoy the spectacular views. My smile was huge after finally getting to see an adult male Ecuadorian Hillstar. We're going to a place called Pseudoloma to look for some new hummingbird species for me. And Javier, our guide, is going to tell us about this place.
Hi everyone, we are heading to Pseudoloma. It's a wonderful place run by local people who are interested in conservation, heading the western side of Quito. And we are going through this road, and then we will contact soon Dario to enjoy beautiful hummingbirds like the purple-back thornbill and mountain velvet breast and many more.
The mountain velvet breast is that one bird that I saw in Colombia that I could only get a picture of a juvenile. So this time I'm going to try to get a full plumaged male for you. We're getting ready to arrive at Pseudoloma, and this is one of the places where there's a possibility we might see the black-breasted puffleg, which is our main target for this entire trip. Very rare, critically endangered hummingbird. Wish us luck. We were met by Dario Hippo, who led us onto his property. The first thing he did was call out to breakfast his little friend, a chestnut-naped ant pitta. I love watching ant pittas run and hop. They are such cute little birds. Oh wow, she's well trained. She knows how to get her breakfast. Adorable little bird. But of course, our main targets were the hummingbirds. There are 2 full-plumaged males here that previously I was only able to photograph a female or a juvenile male, and that's the buff-winged star frontlet and the mountain velvet breast. So I'm trying to get some pictures of the male. Okay, I'm going to try my... Oh my goodness, it's a male mountain velvet breast. You're one of my targets for today. And here you are perched on my finger. You're so pretty. Oh, I love you. And before I knew it, the male buff-winged star frontlet also made an appearance. The feeders here were so busy, I was able to photograph a lot of old friends. Like the sword-billed hummingbird that we first saw at the Owlet Lodge in Peru. I think this is actually one of the best shots I've taken of the buff-tailed coronet. And the sparkling violet ear is so beautiful, I can never resist pointing the camera his way. But suddenly, a new species for me appeared, the sapphire-vented puffleg. This is another high-altitude hummingbird found in the Andes from a tiny area in southern Colombia down through Peru. The bird is green with a blue forehead and a blue vent, and it has those cute snowy white leg puffs. Before we left Darío's property, we thought we would give you an overview of what this beautiful area of Ecuador looks like. After photographing the birds at Sura Loma, we followed Darío to an area where he sees a purple-backed thornbill, and he appeared for us.
Fantastic. Good.
This is a new species for me, and what a gorgeous creature this is. Deep purple head and back with light green underside and a light green brilliant gorget. This bird's also a high altitude lover and is found in the Andes from Venezuela all the way down through Peru. I am so happy with those pictures I just got. Thank you so much for bringing me to see this wonderful bird.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Everybody's very welcome to our reserve.
Thank you.
Have a good trip.
Thank you,
Enjoy
Darío.
the rest of your days.
Thank you. We had a great morning. I got 2 males, where before I only had females, and juveniles, and I also got 2 new species. And I'm very, very happy. Now we're gonna go eat lunch and then see what we get this afternoon. We took a hour, 20-minute, very bumpy ride to get here to Los Armadillos. This is a restaurant, but they have hummingbird feeders. We didn't see any new species here at Los Armadillos, but we enjoyed photographing some of our old friends. A little female white-necked Jacobin liked to perch close to the railing, and a puffy little female Andean emerald was also hard to resist. There was a particularly photogenic purple-throated woodstar here that would sit on a branch overlooking his favorite feeder. We've been filming the purple-throated woodstar with the Swarovski scope. Come take a look at what we got. We're up very early in the morning. It's 5:30 now, and we're already on our way up to Yanacocha. Today is a big day for us because we're looking for the rare black-breasted puffleg. We're up above the clouds now, day has broken, and I wanted you to see this beautiful view. The Cotacachi volcano is out there. You can see it, it's the highest peak out there with the snow. Beautiful, beautiful view above the clouds. It looks like clouds just lying in this beautiful landscape. This just takes my breath away. Here we are back at the Yanacocha Reserve. I've already done a video at this place, but I didn't get my target bird at the time, so we're gonna give it another try. Wish me luck. Help, I've been eaten by a sword-billed hummingbird. We're at the start of the trailhead to go up to the second set of feeders to hopefully find the puffleg we're looking for. If we don't find it there, we actually have an APB, an all pints bulletin, out on people to people who are in other areas. If they spot it, they'll call us.
I am about to fly my drone over the Pichincha volcano, so you can have really good views on this one. So let's go.
Well, we made it to the second set of feeders, and we're looking to see what's up here. There's golden-breasted pufflegs. We saw a sapphire-vented puffleg and
Great sapphire wing.
There's my old friend, the great sapphire wing. You can find this guy in the Andes from Colombia down through Bolivia. And you can always count on spotting the beautiful shining sunbeams here at Yanacocha. You always want to observe these guys from the back so you can see exactly how it is they shine. I was told by somebody who had been up here that he saw the black-breasted puffleg in an area near these upper feeders, but we looked and we just did not see one now. We went on a hike on one of the upper higher trails to have a look to see if we could find one, but it looks like we were just out of luck for this bird here today. You know, these rare and critically endangered hummingbirds are difficult to find. I know somebody who says he's been up here like 5 or 6 times and he still has yet to find this bird. I'll keep trying though, and eventually you will see beautiful pictures and video of the endangered black-breasted puffleg. I promise you. Now it was time to leave Yanacocha and get to the Quito airport for our flight to the Pacific coast. We're at the Quito airport and we're getting ready to take a flight to Guayaquil. Hopefully we'll see the Esmeralda's woodstar, another endemic. So we're getting ready to get on a plane and fly out to the coast. We're in Guayaquil, and this is what I'm used to. I see palm trees. I could be in Los Angeles. This looks really nice. Let's go see what this place has to offer in the way of hummingbirds. We drove up the coast for several hours to Ayampe, where we would stay at El Campito for the next few nights. Here's my lunch. Looks like plantains and rice and fish. Do you know what kind of fish this is?
I think it's sea bass.
Sea bass. Oh, I love sea bass. After lunch, we headed out to Jardín Los Colibríes to see what we could find, but the hummingbirds here were not cooperating either. One solitary rufous-tailed hummingbird, a very common bird throughout Central and South America, appeared very briefly to check out one of the feeders. We had high hopes for the next day though, because we heard of a possible Esmeralda's woodstar nest that we were going to check out. We're still in Ecuador. We're up very early in the morning. As you can see, it's still dark. We have a couple of hour drive to get to Las Balsas Reserve, where the park rangers there tell us that there is a nest of a Esmeralda woodstar. So we got up really early. We're going to go there and check this out. See you in a bit. This is a picture in the camera that belongs to the park ranger of the Esmeralda's woodstar's nest. And he's going to take us to the actual nest, which is apparently still active. So let's see what we can see. We're on our way to see this hummingbird nest, and we're in the community of Las Balsas. I'm going to let Javier explain to you how the community has gotten together to help protect this land for conservation.
Hi everyone, we are at Las Balsas Reserve. This is a community project. They are trying to protect like 8,000 hectares of forest around here, and they have been working with a project called Socio Bosque, implemented by the government, the Ecuadorian government a few years ago. Government was trying to pay the local community a specific and not much amount of money, of dollars, to protect the area. Instead of cutting the tree, they are trying to engage people to protect it. And we are here with Patricio, one of the people from the community, and he also is a park ranger for Coco Foundation. So it's good to work the foundations with the government and local community. And they have some specific birds here, like the lilac, Ilacina Amazon is a parrot, and also the Esmeralda's woodstar, among others, of this Tumbesian area.
We followed Patricio on the trail that led to the nest site. When we got there, we all found comfortable spots and got our cameras and scope ready and waited for the mother hummingbird to return. Well, we waited and waited for hours. Nobody came, so William decided to climb the tree with his binoculars to see if he could find out what was going on. Well, William says there's nothing in the nest, so a predator probably ate the eggs. After spending most of the morning at the empty nest site, we hiked around the area to see what else we could find. What we found was a beautiful male violet-bellied hummingbird, a new species for me. This gorgeous hummingbird is emerald green with a bluish purple abdomen and blue tail. It's found from central Panama down to southwestern Ecuador. Given its distribution, I'm surprised I haven't run into this guy before, but I've been spending most of my time at higher elevations than this bird prefers. Well, another day in Ecuador is drawing to a close. I'm here with William Oriana and Javier Munoz, and I want to especially thank Patricio Reyes. He was our host today here at Reserva Las Balsas, and he found us a new species of hummingbird, the violet-bellied hummingbird. Thank you. Thank you very much for having us today.
Gracias, Pato.
Muchísimas gracias a ti.
We drove back to Patricio's village to drop him off, and we got a big surprise when we saw that his wife Narcisa had cooked us lunch. Patricio's family prepared us a delicious lunch. We weren't expecting this. This is wonderful at his home. Love it.
Sopita de gallina, rice, and chicken.
After lunch, we went back to Ayampe and found this overlook where we couldn't resist taking this wonderful footage of the ocean. I'm walking around the property with William Oriana and Javier Munoz. We're in Ayampe, Ecuador, and it's our last morning at El Campito Lodge. We met up with Victor Garcedo, the administrator for El Campito. We walked with Victor past the dining room and past our cabins to a place where Victor said he saw hummingbirds feeding from flowers on the blooming Inca trees. And here we spotted a female blue-chested hummingbird. I will undoubtedly see this species again, and I'll try to get a male for you in the future. This is a new species for me. We had not seen this yesterday, and you found it right here on your mimosa tree.
Yeah. Nice.
Fantastic. She was not the only bird here. There was also a rufous-tailed hummingbird feeding on the blossoms. And this rufous-tailed hummingbird loved to chase the female blue-chested hummingbird. We We said goodbye to El Campito and started the long drive back to Guayaquil. We stopped for lunch at the beach at Playa San Pablo. Here is my ceviche lunch for this afternoon. Look at this. And of course, William got some great drone footage here. After the long drive to Guayaquil, we went to Bosque Protector Cerro Blanco. This is a private reserve of about 15,000 acres set aside for the protection of the local wildlife, and this includes more than 200 species of birds. We're at Cerro Blanco, and this is Benjamin. He's going to try to find us a Barron's hermit, a little wood star, maybe. Or, I mean, a short-tailed wood star. We'll see. There are nature trails throughout the property, and bilingual guides are available for trail hikes. We had a nice hike on the property, but the only hummingbird we could find today was an Antisanilla hummingbird, one of our old friends we saw on our very first trip to Peru. Benjamin told us he knew of an active nest, and if we wanted to see it, he would get permission for us to enter the property the next morning. We said absolutely, and we would meet him at Cerro Blanco in the morning. It's morning, and we're on our way to Cerro Blanco. We have a lead on a black-throated mango's nest. We're going to see if she's still on the nest, and it'd be great to get some video footage there. But we're also looking for the short-tailed wood star, and this would be a new species for us. Let's see what we can find. We drove to the property, and then Benjamin led the way to the nest.
See that tree over there? On the top of the hill? Well, there is the nest of the black-throated mango.
You better serious, man, about it.
Yeah, we will reach to that point.
Benjamin Navas discovered this black-throated mango nest, and we hiked up here in the cow field, I think, to come find it. It's very high in the tree. William got you some great video of it, and I'm trying to get pictures. It seems like when the mother flies away and then she flies back, she immediately sits down. She doesn't make any attempt to feed anything, so the eggs probably haven't hatched yet. But it's so cool to see a black-throated mango nest. A short way from the nest, we stopped when someone spotted a tiny hummingbird flitting around the brush. And sure enough, it was the short-tailed wood star. The short-tailed wood star is tiny, and as its name describes, it has a very, very short tail that doesn't extend beyond its wingtips. The male has a purplish pink gorget that's bordered by white above and below. It's found along the coast in Ecuador and in northern Peru. We said goodbye to Benjamin, and it was time to leave Guayaquil and start the drive to the Umbrella Bird Lodge, our next destination. We're going to our next location. Apparently this is about a 3.5-hour drive, and we're going to Buenaventura, which is a reserve. You want to tell us a little bit about this?
Sure, belongs to Cocotoco Foundation. A few years ago, we got the reserve in order to protect the loro parakeet and some endangered birds and hummingbirds, and also the umbrella bird. We are 3 hours 30 minutes from here, from Guayaquil. We are leaving from Guayaquil right now.
After the long morning drive, we arrived at the Umbrella Bird Lodge, and it didn't take us long to set up and start looking for hummingbirds. The lodge has a huge deck, so there's a comfortable area to photograph the hummingbirds that come to their feeders and their many nectar-rich plants they have planted on the property. This lodge is located in the El Oro province in the lower portion of the Hocotoco Foundation's expansive Buenaventura Reserve, and this area is rich in bird diversity. We were delighted to spot a band-tailed barbthroat hiding in a bush next to the lodge, and this was my first new species here. Even though it has a large distribution from Guatemala through Central America and Venezuela, Colombia, and Ecuador, it's not an easy hummingbird to find, probably because they hide inside the bushes. It has a long curved bill with a yellow mandible and a very unusual and striking tail pattern. Luckily, William Oriana caught one preening and spreading that marvelous tail for us. The white-whiskered hermit was another new species for me, and this was my nemesis bird on my last trip to Ecuador. I staked out a heliconia that one was feeding on, but he would only come occasionally and only stay for seconds, so I could never get a shot of him. But here, I found one that was much more cooperative. He would stay on these flowers long enough for William and I to get some photos and video for you. A Barron's hermit also made an appearance. This hummingbird is actually a subspecies of the long-billed hermit we photographed when we were in Honduras. Not a new species unless the taxonomists decide to separate them in the future. There were a lot of green thorntails in the area. This is one of our old friends, but there were so many here that this is where I actually think I got my best photographs of them. You rarely see a male and a female perched together, so I was delighted to spot these two and get a photograph. Here at the Umbrella Bird Lodge, and we've been filming all morning where we've got some beautiful hummingbirds, but now we're getting ready to get in the car and we're going to drive to another set of feeders that are at a slightly higher altitude. It's about a half-hour drive, and let's see what we get up there. The Jardin des Colibris, or Hummingbird Garden, is at a higher elevation than the lodge, so you can see some different species here. The lush landscape is marvelous, and the hummingbird feeders are shaded by trees covered with epiphytes like hanging moss, bromeliads, and orchids. Apparently, as many as 32 different hummingbird species have been reported here at one time or another. We didn't see any new species for me here, but we spotted many of our old friends. But before we show you William's videos, check out the leaves on this plant.
Not sure what these leaves are, what this plant is, but I like it. I want one of these in my backyard. It's like a whole dress.
We left the Umbrella Bird Lodge and made our way to find one of the most important birds of this whole Ecuador trip. We've arrived at Cerro de Arcos and we've sat down to lunch. Now the Ecuadorians have a great custom of putting popcorn in their soup. I may never be able to eat soup again without putting popcorn in it because this is really great. After lunch, we drove further up the paramo to the best location to find our hummingbird.
We're at 12,000 feet at Cerro de Arco looking for the blue-throated Hillstar. Wish us luck.
I got tears in my eyes when I first saw the incredible blue-throated Hillstar. This bird was just discovered in 2017 and it's considered critically endangered. It's found only in this tiny area of about 40 square miles around Cerro de Arcos. This magnificent bird is specially adapted to life at high altitudes, and it likely spends half of its life in hypothermic torpor. but there are plenty of chukirawa flowers in the area to sustain it.
We're at 12,000 feet. I think, are my lips blue or? I think my oxygen saturation is about 85. 12,000 feet.
I checked my oxygen saturation back at the lodge and it was actually 71. I was stunned because it's normally 98.
We're here at the lodge at Cerro de Arco in Ecuador. We filmed the blue-throated hillstar this morning. We're pretty happy. I hope you are too. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell because next Sunday we're going to continue on this wonderful trip to Ecuador to get more beautiful birds in this beautiful country. Hi, my name is Carol and this is Hummingbird Spot. We're at Casa Simpson at Reserva Tepichalaca and we're trying to find some more hummingbirds for you.
They had very busy hummingbird feeders at Casa Simpson, and many of our old friends visited them. It rained most of the time we were there, but we could photograph under the protection of a large porch. The amethyst-throated sun angels were numerous, as were the beautiful but very aggressive chestnut-breasted coronets. There was a little speckled hummingbird that would sneak in when the coronets had their backs turned. But my new species was the little sun angel. With its bright orange throat patch and its emerald green back, chest, and abdomen, this little hummingbird really stood out. It's found on the eastern side of the Andes from southern Ecuador to northern Peru. We were in our last days of the Ecuador trip, and this morning on our way back to Quito, we drove up to the 11,000-foot Cerro Toledo peak to find more high-elevation hummingbirds.
up on Cerro Toledo in Ecuador, and finally, I think I got good pictures of an adult male rainbow-bearded thornbill. I'm very happy about that. Before, I only had those little juveniles.
We photographed this species before in Colombia. Maybe you remember the little juvenile that liked to drink up the sugar water that would get spilled on the table. But here we found a beautiful, full-plumaged adult male.
Well, it looks like we had a productive morning. We stopped by the side of the road on our way down from Cerro Toledo, and we found a new species.
Well, the new species was the glowing puffleg, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I had photographed this bird before in Colombia. But I definitely had never before seen the beautiful feathers this bird has on its rump. Now I know why it's glowing. We stayed overnight in the city of Loja and then flew back to Quito the next morning.
Here at the Quito airport, standing in line to get a COVID test to get back into the United States. Now we have to get tested to get back in.
In one last effort to find a black-breasted puffleg, we made a 2-hour drive out to the town of Quito.
Walking along this trail looking for some red and purple flowers that the black-breasted puffleg likes to feed on. This is an extremely rare bird. We looked for him earlier in the trip and we couldn't find him, but we got a lead. Someone reported seeing one right here on eBird a couple of weeks ago, so we came here to stake it out.
We weren't successful, but it was not a complete loss. We saw the male purple-back thornbill earlier in the trip, but here we found an adorable little female. Then it was goodbye to Ecuador for now.